I met then Sergeant Battles as a reservist. He'd been out of the service about 10 years, and he heard about the combat art program and wanted to participate. And he was a classically trained portraitist and landscape painter, so he came to us with great motivation and really great skills. After we were able to get him on mobilization orders as a reservist, he's come to us and he's deployed a couple times to Iraq and Afghanistan. He's just produced a large volume of very high caliber work. This piece behind me shows a common scene that anybody who's been a foot soldier or a Marine can identify with. There's an awful lot of hurry up and wait, and when there's downtime you try to do things that are productive. Connect with your brothers in arms. Read the news from back home, catch up on whatever magazine might tickle your fancy, flip through a good book. So it's one of those psychological portraits that I think speaks to the ages. We've had several art historians come to the art collection, and they've come with this expectation to find a bunch of John Wayne hoopla, and that doesn't exist, and I'm proud that that doesn't exist. Our program consists of active duty and reserve Marines who come here and they want to tell a story, and we give them very clear guidance. We tell them, go to war and do art. And that's what they do. So they come back with the good, the bad, and the ugly, and that's about as much editorial control as we have over the process. And we want that. We want that rich, dense, bright fabric of voices to come from the various conflicts. And Sergeant Battles' work stands out as some of the best in the collection, in my opinion.
There is nothing more gratifying than when you see someone coming through and they're looking at a piece of art and they're like, that's how it was.
I feel like this: if you've been over there, you'll relate to this. If you've been over there, you can relate. I'm pretty sure anybody who's been to Iraq or any deployment can look up here like, oh man, they're like me and my group of Marines right there who were doing this like 2 or 3 years ago.
What's the difference between photography and art was the question. And I'll use this painting by Staff Sgt. Battles. I owe him 10 push-ups now. It has a tactile quality that you don't get from a photograph. And with photography, you can see things, and if you miss that critical moment, you're out of luck. With artwork, you can work in those critical moments. You're not fabricating a new truth, but you're aligning them in a way that the symbolism and the message comes through more clearly. And if you look at this piece, all the Marines and the interpreter have their back to the viewer. All the hopeful, worried, insecure Iraqis are looking towards the viewer. The picture is kind of divided halfway. And I think that Chris's ability to bring out their humanity and play up the symbolism, you've got this vast unknown terrain that surrounds them. There's symbology in that. We don't know the future. You've got this dividing line where we're here to help, but we're divided, we're separated, and we're trying to develop a union. That exists. I think that you can do that a lot more with artwork than you can with photography, especially if you deploy somewhere and your camera breaks down or you miss a critical moment.
I do see some influences in his work. He has a very rich palette. We have another artist in the collection, Colonel Peter Michael Gish, who is still doing amazing paintings in where he lives in Rhode Island. Wonderful, wonderful painter. I see some of the looseness that Sergeant Battles has developed over the years, really as an influence of Colonel Gish, and also just having the ability to really paint what he wants to paint. And his work was amazing when he came to us for the first time, and it has only gotten better over the years. Staff Sgt. Battles now has a sign in his studio that just says Gish on it, and it's a reminder of be a little looser. Don't feel like you have to be so tight. You know, push yourself a little bit. and he has, and his work has gotten better. It's surprising to think it could get better, but it did, and it has.